even if I wasn't particularly that big fan
Sure.
of it. Which, of course, brings us back again, which we like to do in circles. We're a very confusing graph chart here at Leog.
We usually
kind of
talk
like
in
the
circles.
water circling a drain.
Yes.
Very good.
To what Carl asked, which is, now that the reboot for the Man of Steel is confirmed, where would you guys want the reboot to pick up from? Would you want it stripped back to the origin story, like the new Bat films, or just taken up from Superman 2?
Let's be honest. It was important to go over Batman's origin again. Batman Begins was important because movie-wise, nobody had really done his origin well.
Yeah.
And here was Christopher Nolan doing it better than maybe it's ever been done before.
Yes.
I mean, the thing is, about Batman Begins, I was like, wow, he did as good a job as the animated series, if not better, in his own way, which I thought I could never say.
Which he was highly influenced, I believe, from the animated
Sure.
And the animated series, actually, they never really did the origin. They showed little snippets, but they couldn't show two people getting gunned down in an alley because they would never be allowed to air it.
Yeah, because that counts as erotica.
Yeah. Broadcast standards and practices are always stepping on their throats. They got away with a lot more than most, but not enough.
Yeah, they got away with, just shy of murder in that series.
All I know is that usually there's a pearl necklace involved in that scene.
That's true, isn't it?
See?
Everything Frank Miller. That's a Frank Miller thing.
Batman's mom was a whore.
Stop. We're not even.
Oh, by
Grant
pearl
Morrison.
necklace, you meant. Oh.
Damn, he even wrote Batman's mom is a whore.
They're all whores.
Wait, they make necklaces out of actual pearls?
So anyway, when you get to Superman's origin, that's been done correctly.
Yeah.
Almost
More or
every
less.
time, if you don't count Smallville.
And I tried to forget it. Sorry, fans, but what's wrong with you?
There's no reason to retell a Superman's origin because Superman's like Superman and Mickey Mouse are the most well-known characters, cartoon characters in the world.
How did Mickey Mouse become Mickey Mouse then, Leon?
Superman is the most well-known cartoon character in the entire world.
Well, Mickey Mouse's parents were shot in front of him.
Sometimes when a mouse and another mouse love each other very much.
Everybody keeps talking about reboot. I mean, it's not really necessary to reboot. It's like, look, it's up there. Just get going. Move on to the next story. I mean, I think everybody can agree there's no need to see Lex Luthor.
No more Lex Luthor, for God's sake.
Why do we need more Lex Luthor? Why do we need a reboot? I mean,
don't.
Is Superman 1 that old that we need to see this story again? It's not. Everyone in the universe
it's
knows
older than Batman.
Everybody feels differently about Superman Returns, and I'm more tired of that fight than I am for fighting about Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, no doubt. It's okay, guys, there wasn't enough action for you. Sorry.
Yeah, he didn't punch anything. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I meant a lot to me, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Still, you could pick up from where it left off and tell a really good story.
Yeah,
the foundation is already there.
Hey,
you have an actor, albeit he's doing an impression of Christopher Reeve, but a goddamn good one, better than anybody else could do.
But it's as it should be.
I disagree with that completely. I haven't seen any evidence that Brandon Routh is a good actor.
Are you? Oh, you weren't joking.
You're not joking.
Are you serious?
Okay. I think he's decent, but you just said he's doing an impersonation. He's doing Chris Reeve, and he did that rather well. That is not an indication of a good acting talent.
I'm okay with him doing that, though.
I don't have that big of a problem. I'm not that crazy about Ralph. I'm not even that crazy about the physicality of Chris Reeves to begin with. I mean,
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'd like more of like an Alex Ross type Superman.
Not much older, but
a little bit more muscular, a little bit more imposing. You guys are just staring at me like, oh my God, how could you possibly say that? And I'm sorry.
How do you think Jason felt last time when he said he liked the Star Wars prequels?
Hey man, I said the Hitchhikers guy. You guys have gotten in your quotient of staring at me bug-eyed. I love the Superman movies. I liked Superman Returns. I've got no problem with them.
I think you just hate crippled people.
But this question is saying, what would you like to see them do for a reboot? And that's what I'm answering. I'm like, wow, if I could start over from scratch.
You killed baby Jesus.
Yes, if I could start over from scratch, I would like a bigger, more physically imposing Superman.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No, I don't want that big.
Well, the problem is,
Vin
where
Diesel.
Well, that's the only thing that's bigger.
how many actors are there that are that big
It's
and
true.
are really
that
good
can
actors?
act. That can act. I'm sure they could find somebody.
The
And if
Rock
not,
is about it.
Yeah, but you can't cast The Rock as Superman.
Okay,
at this
fine.
point.
It's impossible. Never mind. Okay, Jesus, guys, what the fuck?
Okay, well then, Beau, name somebody.
I
Well, no,
don't
this
know,
could be
but
an
you know,
unknown.
it is within the realm of physical reality.
Brandon
Okay,
Routh was
Find
an
somebody
unknown.
like that who can act. You know?
Fine, I'll play him. I'll do it already. Stop.
I mean, it may be some unknown guy who's only played bodyguards up till now. I don't know. No, I don't see The Rock as doing him. And no, I don't see the Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't mind either of their physicalities. I just, facially, I don't see them as Superman.
No. I mean,
that's
the
my only thing.
Most recent Superman was an unknown. He's right. Why can't they find a decent actor who is built who's an unknown? I'm sure they're out there.
I just don't
Then
care to
name one
see.
of
I just don't.
Name this unknown person who no one has ever met
Okay,
before.
Tyler
You
Maine.
must know them.
It's
I'm
Tyler
sorry,
Maine.
Leon, I left my amazing psychic powers in my other uniform.
Yeah, right. He's got his what's the thing Xavier uses?
Yeah,
to
my
detect
Cerebro
the
unit.
Cerebro for actors.
I'll go
Oh.
break that out of my walk-in closet. Hold on.
I hear what you guys are saying. I'm just saying. Tell me who
You
this
know-
person is. I'm saying to you that they don't exist.
See,
Okay,
this is
fine.
just like arguing about the Avengers.
Yeah, exactly. It's never gonna happen. You can't. Yes, it's like
This person you're talking about does not exist. Okay,
they'll never replace the Zeppelin. All you people in your fancy planes. It's not gonna happen. Just get helium and hydrogen's the only way to get into the upper atmosphere. Are you
Dude,
crazy?
Hey, it's Vinnie Jones. Let's all admit it.
Listen here, Lord Fauntleroy. The fact is, this beefy, good-looking, great actor that you seem to want to cast as
stop.
Superman would be a
Jesus.
shitty Clark Kent. How's he going to pull off Clark Kent?
That's a good point. The only guy who ever draws him that way is in Tim
Sale.
Yeah, as this giant hulking retard.
Yeah. Yeah. In
No,
between,
I mean,
in between starring on Broadway doing
in
Mice
the-
and
in the
Men, I
animated-
also play Clark Kent.
in the animated series, he had a physically big presence, and as Superman and Clark Kent.
No, I see.
I mean,
what you're
Clark Kent's a
saying.
big guy.
I see what you're saying, but you know what? If his physicality reflected his power, well, he'd be like a brontosaurus. Or
Exactly.
something.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. Technically, he's not. It's not necessary for him to be a
French
giant.
Stewart.
Yeah,
That's all
French
I'm
Stewart
saying.
can play him. That's fine.
French Stewart.
French Stewart.
I would kind of like to see them not return so much to the Richard Donner stuff, but do something along the lines of an adaptation of John Byrne's Man of Steel. Not out and out, but bringing in some elements from it.
It's
And
funny.
and they need to get rid of the kid. I'm sorry, but that was a really horrible.
Yeah.
That was an
Yes.
awful idea.
Yeah,
admit.
I
That
agree.
it was one of the things that, I thought it was. I honestly feel it was executed well. But
Oh, yeah. No,
what
they-
a terrible way.
They
to-
executed it well,
To go,
but-
it was a terrible decision to go into the
And get rid of
into
Cyclops.
for the series. That's all. It's like, do you really want to keep going with the Superman movies where he keeps having to deal with this kid? I mean, for one movie, sure, but then how do you just go? Well, I'm kind of a bad father, so we're just not going to pay much attention.
But he
to
didn't
that.
know. It's a Jerry Springer episode.
No,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just saying-
No, you're right. It's more of a Maury Povich thing.
I'm saying in the later episodes, do we want to keep seeing him regularly? Hey, it's my day with the kid, and I'm gonna.
Man, you know what?
Wow, you actually liked the kid bit, didn't you?
Oh, the kid's in
Actually-
trouble again.
Actually, like the bit because to me it's what wraps up the movie. It's like because it's all about this guy who he's so powerful you can't write him, except he's like the most lonely, vulnerable person in the world, in the universe, and he's lost every connection. He went to find his connection and it was gone. He came back for Lois and she's gone. He's got nothing, and at the very end, he has this son, and I cry every time I get to the last
it
scene of
works
that.
great inside the film if this was a standalone film.
Which it apparently is, since they're doing a
yeah.
reboot.
Well, I'm just saying, if that was the plan,
Yeah.
but it wasn't the plan. The
Not
plan was
the
to keep
least.
going with movies. It was a terrible idea for a film
Yeah.
and a series about Superman. That's
And
all
once again,
I'm saying.
I really liked the movie. I didn't have all the fanboy complaints. Oh, there wasn't enough violence. Blah blah blah. Could care less. I loved the movie. Went to go see it with Cyrus. Had tears forming in my eyes.
too.
Enjoyed the crap out of it.
Fag.
But yeah. Jason never cries in movies except pornos.
Only because he can't get it up. He's like, why, God?
Oh my
why?
God, are you punishing me? So anyway,
Why can't she like me?
but yeah, I mean,
fuckers
I
are all
would
gonna
like
die.
to see. I would like to see a new mythos brought about. I mean, I really like the Donner stuff. You know, love the crystals. You know, I love the storylines that
Love
he came
Otis.
up with. You know, loved Otis.
Yeah.
Loved that. I loved.
Otis? I love Otis.
I loved that version of Lex Luthor.
The big disco
I would like to
kryptonite
see something.
necklace.
Yeah, I would like to see something completely different. I think it's time.
Okay, here's my worry with different.
Yeah.
Like I'm desperate for them to bring Brandon Routh back because I love this guy. I was skeptical at first, loved him, couldn't wait to see what he would do next. And I'm afraid that if they take him away, they will replace him with Tom Welling and everything that goes with Smallville.
No, you're right.
And that's the last thing I want.
No,
I don't want that door open at all.
Because DC clearly wants to go that way anyway.
Oh yeah, and DC and Warner Brothers are batshit crazy insane.
Yeah.
There's no question. Every decision they're throwing up regarding any of the movies they're coming out with is just like no. That's not how you're going to make it
The only
work.
smart thing they've done was leave Batman alone with Christopher
Yeah.
Nolan. Just said, you know what, you just do what you want. But you
But
know
then they
what?
gave him to Grant Morrison.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying
Right.
in the comics,
Yeah,
they're
we're-
fucking up the comics with
Yeah.
these characters. The animated series don't even get me fucking started with the way they've been fucking
Not the
them
Bruce
up.
Timm one. You mean
No,
the
not
other
the
one.
Bruce Timm one. I'm just saying in
Which-
general with all
which-
their other properties. With all their other properties,
Oh,
they're
this
like,
new Brave and the
let's
Bold.
get as kiddie and as
You know,
young
it
and
is
as anime
weird
influenced
how
as
with
we can.
Batman and Transformers,
The
you
new
had
Justice
these movies
League.
who made for mostly adults, and then the animated series that follow are very skewed
It's almost
toward kids.
indistinguishable from.
Yeah, it's like
Or,
wow,
excuse me,
what an odd move.
That's not what I meant.
But-
Excuse me. Completely different from the two. It's like
Right.
you can't even tell. It's like, wait, these are the same character?
Right,
Well,
right.
you were
right.
just commenting they did the same thing with the Transformers series.
Yeah.
Which I don't know who was in charge of that, but after this, admittedly not for smart people or anything.
Sure.
But movie, but it was trying to be grimmer, whatever, more mature.
The
and
Jeff
then they
Loeb,
make this-
Tim Sale, Clark Kent would like Transformers. It's a big robot.
Big robots.
I reckon I like big robots.
I can has Earth saving now. Lol, Transformers.
Very true. But the thing is, like this new Brave and the Bold series that's coming out that's so kid oriented, which they've ever since the original Batman series, they've been wanting to have a kid oriented Batman series. That's what Batman Beyond was supposed to be. And the guy said, we'll do a kid oriented one. Not. And then, the Batman was supposed to be that, and it sort of was, but somewhere in between.
What's happening in comics right now feels like old dudes who don't know shit about comics are suddenly possessing the souls of everyone in the comics industry and going, what is all this grown-up shit in comics? This is supposed to be for little young kids. Comics are dumb. Let's make them dumb again.
Well, all those old people are going to die, and you got to bring new blood into it. And I think that's what a lot of it is. And it's you've got to keep growing the market. You got to keep making it accessible to new people. And it always irks me when I see something dumbed down and made more child friendly. But they have to get new people in.
It's true.
Yeah, it's a complete demographic.
I will tell you guys
study.
this. When I was out at the San Diego Comic-Con, and they had big posters of Brave and the Bold everywhere. And yeah, it looks like it came out of the 1940s. And it's like, guys, we've gotten away completely from this Batman, especially with the Dark Knight. But when I saw it on a screen in the animation's really good. I don't know what the stories will be like.
I'm really curious to see it myself.
But yeah, once you see it moving, it's like, wow. In some ways.
And when you said it's like the 40s Batman, I'm like, I wouldn't mind revisiting that just for a little while.
Exactly.
I don't want to live there, but I
Exactly.
wouldn't mind visiting on a regular basis.
So it's like the brave and the old.
Kinda. Well, it's one of these things where it's like it's Batman. He's teaming up with Green Arrow, and you're like,
Yeah, it's like the original Green
yeah,
Arrow
the original
without the
Green Arrow.
beard and the red
Exactly.
gloves.
Yeah.
You're like,
But
man,
then
I
the
was in,
new Blue Beetle, it's weird and
Yeah.
anachronistic.
I
I
don't
was
like the
in
new
I was
Blue
in Austin Books today, and I was looking at some of the Green Arrow paperback books, and they had a collected version. It came so close to getting it of Jack Kirby's original Green Arrow.
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, dude, I've got to get this, but I'm not strapped for it right now.
Anybody else have anything else they want to say about the Superman reboot? The question is, like, where would you want it to pick up from? What
Just
the
no
heck's
more
we
Lex
doing?
Luthor. That's all I want.
Pick
Just
up
no
from where it
more.
left off. New villain, Brainiac, throw in a little Bizarro. I'm good.
Yeah, that would work for me,
Maybe
too.
Nuclear Man.
Stop it.
Hey, I would love to see a reinvention of Nuclear Man in the sense that they go and he just dies immediately.
You know,
that's not even mildly a threat.
That actor's actually dead.
Is he?
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, then it already happened, so it's fine. That's what he gets. My apologies to his family, but what a dick move.
I certainly am not glad that he's dead.
No.
I was being facetious.
But I'm glad they can never do his character again with him playing it. Okay.
Anyway. Wow.
I'm glad that he'll never act again. Sorry!
Well, I don't think he really started, but anyway.
Hope you're rotting in hell with Richard Marquand.
Razmir asks us, and this is a good question, do all the retcons, reality storms, repeated resurrections, and all-around retardation of what should be so many fun and entertaining superheroes ever almost make you want to give up comic books? I ask because lately a lot of my once favorite comics like Spider-Man, here you're there, brother, Teen Titans, Hulk, and by what you guys are saying, even Batman, that started out so strong are now so bad that I'm embarrassed to admit I even like them. How do we feel about it? Well, there's always been shit that have gone wrong with comics, and then they gradually get fixed. Things are great for a while, and they suck for a while. And then they're great again for a while, and then they suck.
I hate retcons and reboots and all that. It drives me wild, but I've started to realize it's like, shit, it's going to happen.
It's a part
of
life.
It's just, there's no way around it.
If you want to keep the character around, unless you want a 60-year-old Batman running around.
Well, there's that. But yeah, it's like you've got all, it's like you're going with hundreds of different writers over 50 years or whatever. You're going to have to, clean up the mess every now and then.
As much as we bitch about all the, I can't believe they're doing this character, yada, yada, we know they're going to end up fixing all the shit eventually, and things will come around eventually to where we like it again. Whatever it is.
We just wish we didn't have to sit through the infinite crises of Showdown, Skrull super invasions to get to the point where it's good again.
Well, that's the thing I realized, because I'm so used to that. Like to me, like X-Men was like the one comic that really did that a lot. Like I used to be addicted to All My Children, would just like watch it, couldn't get enough of it. Oh yeah.
I told you everybody's secretly geeky about something, dude.
Yeah, and it was totally like an addiction. Like all through summer, I would have to watch it every day, even though most of the show you watched on Wednesday was Tuesday's show.
Was this during the whole point when she was getting possessed by the devil?
No,
Okay,
it wasn't even during that.
Because I could see watching
that-
it.
And
then.
school would start.
That's
and
Days
I'd
of
be
Our Lives.
Oh, it's Days of Our Lives, okay.
But eventually,
I don't know any of you.
But General Hospital, when it was like Robert Scorpio.
oh, Robert Scorpio, yeah, I was into it then.
Hell yeah,
and it had
when
the
he-
Ice Princess where the guy could control
the Ice
weather.
Princess
And when
was
Corey
awesome.
Hart was on General Hospital, oh my God, he's so dreamy.
No, General Hospital for like 3 years.
Yeah, there was
They
like a whole
made it into
spy
like
thriller
a cross
going on.
between like James Bond, Raiders of the Lost
Yeah.
Ark, with superheroes and all this stuff going on. It was crazy.
It was.
Yeah, there was this dude who had magical hypnosis powers who was trying to find a
everybody in the
magic
writing
sword.
team was a comic book fan.
It was
apparently.
awesome.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was into it during that time.
Yeah.
But eventually, those shows would like reach a point when like every plot line would jump the shark, and I'd be like, "These are all stupid. I'm not going to watch it for a while." And I could not watch it for 2 years, and then 2 years come on. New writers who somehow had seen the shows I saw and brought back those same elements, and then I get hooked into it all over again.
Yeah.
And I always thought X-Men was the same way. I'd read it for a while, love it, and then it would go off the rails.
The only difference being that this was always Chris Claremont writing. Always.
Well, something I realized, like just the other day, it's like, wow, I'm at a point where so many of the comics that I've been reading regularly are doing this, to where they've hit that point where I'm going like, okay, I gotta let you go for a while and I'll come back. Like Spider-Man was the big one, but I'm like, wow, almost all the DC universe is that way for me with Ad Infinitum Crisis and 52, and I'm just so like,
The only thing I can keep up with anymore is and before it was just one. The only thing that I was reading was Green Arrow, and now I'm jumping onto the Action Comics bandwagon for a little while. At least.
right, yeah, I'm with.
But most it's just like, oh God, finish up Final Crisis, do what you have to do. I'll come back and talk to you in a year.
Can you imagine a character who breaks the fourth wall and is very aware of everything, like Deadpool in Marvel, but in the DC universe.
Guys, I'm really sorry about it. They have one. It's Ambush Bug, and I wish
really?
they'd do a huge special
that's
on
right.
him.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Ambush Bug's awesome. He would always do that crap.
Ah, well, yeah. Well, we need him right now.
Yeah.
Somebody who can speak to me and go like, dude, I know this is really fucked up.
I'm really sorry.
And I'm with you on
Here's-
it.
here's
I'll
Grant
sit
Morrison's
with you
phone
until
number.
it's over with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and God, it was something you brought up in the middle of talking about all of that.
General Hospital.
No, it was a certain comic.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. You're right. Is it? God damn it! I was just about to make that point, and you guys derailed me.
Frisco was cool. What happened to Frisco, man? That was a guy.
Frisco County
Speaking
Jr.
of Frisco
he-
County
he-
Jr.,
he-
Lord
he started-
Bowler died.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Pancreatic
that's
cancer.
How did we get to Frisco? Frisco.
I was trying to
Oh,
change.
no,
the,
Frisco,
Jack Wagner. He was on 90210.
I was trying
Oh,
to change
was
the
he?
topic
Yeah,
to
that's what happened
something
to him.
less gay.
So let's move on to guys in tights.
Yeah.
Have you noticed Jeff Johns, Superman's his package is a little bit bigger than...
So I got
North
this
Star is my
Oh,
favorite
I know what it was.
superhero.
It was Teen Titans. The guy mentioned the reboot on Teen Titans with all this. The fact is,
Oh, yeah.
like right before this happened, there were several Teen Titans story arcs. I was like, oh, I'm really interested in this.
Yeah.
I was like on Amazon, just about to click and buy like the last 2 graphic novel collections because I was like, this is really cool. Like the Teen Titans in the future where they've all like Robin has become
Yeah.
Batman and stuff. And I was like,
And
oh, this is
everybody's really, really messed up.
yeah. I'm ready to buy these. And I happened to go to the store and see where they've completely rebooted everything. So I'm like, wow, I would buy these things.
And then so they killed off Superboy, and they're like, oh, and now everything's changed.
yeah.
It's like,
So
ah.
like these mean nothing now.
Oh, that's so frustrating.
Yes, it is.
I
It
mean,
is.
I like even before they brought Young Justice, who like Teen Titans now are basically Young Justice, which
Right.
was about 5 years ago. They decided to just change them into Teen Titans. But when Young Justice was running, they were keeping the Titans going
Right.
as a team just called the Titans, Sans Teens. And I was really liking those storylines and really getting into them. They're like, oh, now we're going to change. Now it's back to now we're going to have the kids. I was like,
Well, they've restarted the Titans again.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know. They have
That-
started that going on, and I am starting to pick them up again.
That Robin outfit doesn't really work if you have to start shaving your legs.
yeah.
I love Millar's run on Authority. That was where I first discovered him, and he folded that right into the Ultimates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much of that style.
Yeah.
And
I love
never
Ellis's
blows shit
run
up.
too, though.
no, I did too. I was started reading with Ellis's run from the very beginning. Those first 2 12-issue story arcs, both of them, I thought they were brilliant.
I still haven't gotten around to reading what Ennis did with his sort of
With
spin-off
Kev.
stuff. he
Yeah,
was
I
doing.
read some of it. I liked it, but I was kind of over the book by that
Let's
point.
get. Let me guess. With Ennis, it was crazy violence and sodomy.
What'd
Yeah,
try
You
to say?
know,
Sodomy.
Jason, I get really sick of you saying those things like they're bad. You shut the hell up.
I'm not trying to judge, Beau. Whatever you do when you go to
Hey,
the petting
man,
zoo,
that's a Friday
is up
night.
to you.
And I need a moment of silence as Ennis has ended his run on the Punisher.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that does
Well,
not-
apparently, issue 61 is really good.
I haven't read it yet.
That's what I've heard. I haven't read it.
Is that the new guy writing it?
Yeah,
Who's the
I
new
can't-
guy?
Well, no, what they're
I
going to
don't
do,
know.
like, they're going to have, like, a bunch of different guys writing it for a little bit until they
Yeah, they
settle
gotta
on
get out of
who's
that
going to be
shadow.
the
You
one
have Jeff
guy.
Loeb.
Well, that guy's got
Just stop it.
That guy's got to feel like Gil Guillermo.
You
It's going to be
know-
Punisher
right now.
Black.
You know, Loeb is you can rearrange it to say blow. I just figured that out.
Here's the thing with the Punisher. If you pick up a Punisher comic and he's wearing white boots, don't read that one. The white boot Punisher, that's not the one I'm talking about.
The disco go-go era Punisher is, yeah. Especially what I hated about those runs was the dance routines they'd break out into in the middle of it. That was
raining
just
dead
really
men.
embarrassing. Yes,
Hallelujah, it's raining dead men.
Can't stop the vigilante.
This whole thing has been like, this is the gay episode
Well,
of Leog.
well, Cyrus,
Yeah.
This is Leog Pink.
Cyrus, I got to ask you, and this question will go out to everybody, but you in particular. Speaking on everything we just said about how these retcons happen, you just have to endure them and then just eventually get on board. At what point do we go like, okay, fine, Spider-Man, brand new day, he's never been married?
You know, I've wondered that as well.
Yeah,
and
I know.
honestly, I think it's going to come to the point that they're going to just go, you know what, we're going to fix this. We're just going to go back to the way it was. We'll find a way to fix it.
I hope so, because then
I
I'll
hope
start
so,
reading
too.
it again. But
Yeah. Or
I
they'll
think-
do just some other writer will take over, will find an angle on this whole thing.
I
to
think
make it
another
work again.
editor-in-chief will have to take over.
See, I think that also.
Well, because the way they're doing it, like I said, he thinks he's Stan Lee. He thinks he's fucking Stan Lee in the 60s. He's like, listen up, Marvel aficionados. We've got a wacky story for you now. Oh, no, what will Spidey do now? Editor's comments. You're like, oh, shut the fuck up, dude. You are not Stan Lee. You're never gonna be Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Stan Lee isn't even Stan Lee anymore.
See, what's hard for me is that the fact that Quesada was the one who actually revamped and brought the Marvel Universe back to prominence. And made all these good
so
comics.
did Big Jim Shooter before him.
pulled him
Yeah,
in.
exactly.
Also
That-
went batshit
you know,
crazy.
That's the best analogy. He's like Big Jim Shooter, who, when he came around in
Right.
the 80s, is like, oh man, Marvel's rocking again. They were getting a little stagnant there in the 70s, but ooh, all this new stuff's happening. This is cool. And wait, Spidey's got a new uniform. And
All of a sudden,
everybody's going into
editorial
space,
fiat.
and,
Yeah.
oh my God! Aliens have taken over Jim Shooter's brain.
It could
Yeah.
be. It's like They Live going on in the comic book
Yeah.
industry.
No, it's back to the Dark Knight. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself as the villain.
Yeah, well, Quesada has reached that point. That
He
he's
has.
become the villain when he used to be the hero, which hopefully will never happen to Leog. So that was
Hey.
the 11th episode of the League of Extremely Ordinary
done?
Gentlemen. We are done. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got through it
We're
all
not
this
half as drunk
time.
as we were last time.
I know.
Yeah,
This
I
is-
still feel like I'm twice as loud though as last time, so I apologize.
And maybe you are. I don't. We never know till the end. As this
Yeah.
goes along and I get drunker, I just start randomly twirling dials on my.
All the
list.
levels are set differently, so yeah.
This
it
time
ends
people are
up-
going to be like, Jesus, Leon, shut the fuck up.
Are we?
Right.
Well, I just want to tell everybody, hey, thanks for listening to Leog this
Yeah,
week.
thanks, you guys.
Fuck the Star Wars prequels.
Yep.
Oh,
And good
come
night.
on.
And I can't believe I admitted to liking ElfQuest.